Hi, this is Doug and I run the customer experience for American Medical, the oxygen concentrator store. We know that your Respironics SimplyGo Mini is your lifeline to the world. So today we're going to talk about some basic tips and tricks on how to maintain your Respironics SimplyGo Mini so that it's operating at its peak performance and keeping you out there in the world. Your Respironics SimplyGo Mini and portable oxygen concentrators in general are a machine. And just like any other machine with moving parts, they require some basic maintenance to make sure that everything is running efficiently. To start, there's a few basic maintenance tips that you can perform on your Respironics SimplyGo Mini at any time. On a weekly basis, or even more frequently, you'll want to make sure that your Respironics SimplyGo Mini is clean on the exterior and free of dust and debris. This is really important because your Respironics SimplyGo Mini pulls in the ambient air from the outside world and then filters that into your medical grade oxygen to keep you breathing. Well, if there's dirt and debris on the outside of your concentrator, then it's entirely possible that you'll be blocking up one of the intake vents and it will be operating not at peak performance. So you'll have a little bit more trouble. So we just want to make sure that you're taking care of it in every way. And to start with, it's cleaning the outside. So the first thing that you'll do is take it out of its case, and it's a Velcro at the top and then the zipper at the bottom. Hopefully, if you're using it on a regular basis, that should be a regular maintenance procedure for you, is taking it in and out of the bag. Once you've got your Respironics SimplyGo Mini out of the bag, you can take a damp cloth, it can even be a paper towel. You want to make sure that it's not wet, but it's also not completely dry. If it's completely dry, it might get some of the dust off, but it won't do the best job. Just a little bit wet is the perfect way to do it. And you can wipe all over the outside, but you really want to make sure that you're getting the bottom part here where you can see the intake vents to make sure that you're getting the peak performance out of your Respironics SimplyGo Mini. This one might seem like common sense, but you'll want to make sure that you're handling your Respironics SimplyGo Mini with care. Try not to drop it from too high of a height, bump it into a door when you've got it in its bag over your shoulder, take it outside in the rain. One of the best tips that I ever heard is, this is about the size of a small pet. So you want to make sure that you treat it like a small pet. You're not going to drop your small pet. You're not going to take your little dog outside uncovered in the rain. You're not going to accidentally bump it into the door frame when you're walking by. This is your lifeline. Treat it as such and just make sure that you're taking care. If you don't use your Respironics SimplyGo Mini on a regular basis, make sure that when you're storing it in a cool, dry place. This again is important because it'll minimize the amount of dirt and debris on the unit, and it will make sure that there's no humidity getting into the unit and causing it to operate at less than peak performance. When the battery is fully charged, make sure that you're either removing the battery and running your Respironics SimplyGo Mini only on AC power, or that you remove the charger running on AC power and only run it on the battery. This will prevent you from accidentally overcharging the battery, which can do a little bit of damage to it. There's also a few important maintenance steps that you can perform to your Respironics SimplyGo Mini that you'll want to make sure that you do every month at a minimum. Now, if you do them a little bit more than a month, that's okay, but at the very minimum, you'll want to do it every month. Oxygen concentrators in general, and especially your Respironics SimplyGo Mini, operate at peak performance when they're running on a regular basis. A lot of machines with moving parts, this is the truth, because you want to make sure that those moving parts keep moving, they're getting the lubricant that they need that's inside of the machine, and especially on an oxygen concentrator, because when it pulls the ambient air in from outside, it filters it through sieve beds, which are really just fine filters to turn it into medical grade oxygen. Well, if you're not using those sieve beds on a regular basis, the material inside can start to clump. So for the moving parts inside for the sieve beds, make sure that you're running this at least 10 hours a month. If you're someone that only uses your Respironics SimplyGo Mini for travel and you store it for long periods of time, keep in mind that, well, like we said, it runs best when it runs regularly. So make sure that if you're storing it, you take it out every once in a while, you run it. And if you are going to go on a trip, we recommend taking it out, turning it on 2 months ahead of time. This way, if there is something that might need maintenance, you've left yourself plenty of time to get it taken care of and back to you in time to enjoy your trip. This one might seem basic, but you're gonna wanna change your cannula at least once every month. Some people change it every week, every 2 weeks. That's up to personal preference, but as long as you're changing it every month, you should be good. Think of your cannula and your Respironics SimplyGo Mini as an entire system. If you're gonna maintain the Respironics SimplyGo Mini, you've gotta maintain the system that provides oxygen to you, and the cannula is part of that. You wanna make sure that by changing it, there's no buildup inside the cannula that could be causing you to get less flow and ultimately have you sat a little bit lower. So just change it every month and you'll be good. Just like you want to run your Respironics SimplyGo Mini for 10 hours a month, you want to make sure that every part of your Respironics SimplyGo Mini is working every month. So we recommend running on battery power only for at least 2 hours a month. We also recommend that you run on AC power only at least once a month and run on DC power only at least once a month. This makes sure that you're checking, are your batteries fully functional? Are they accepting a full charge? It also makes sure that both your AC and DC chargers are functioning correctly. So when you're out in the world and you really need them to work, you know they're going to work. Running on your batteries at least once a month goes for all the batteries you have. And it's really important that if you have multiple batteries, you cycle them. Some people might have 3 batteries and they tend to only use the one. They keep it in the machine, they take it out, but they never really switch to their other batteries. They're there as backups. That's not really good for the batteries. You want to make sure that they're running on a regular basis, just like you're running your machine 10 hours a month. You want to make sure that you're running all 3 of your batteries every month. So what we recommend is cycling your batteries. You can do that on a monthly basis. You could do it on a weekly basis, but the way that cycling works is, let's say you did it on a weekly basis. Week 1, you're going to use battery A. Then week 2, you put battery A away and you take out battery B. You run that all of week 2. When week 2 is over, you pick up battery C and you run that for all of week 3. As I said, it could be 1 month on battery A, 1 month on battery B, 1 month on battery C. You could do it on a daily basis. As long as you're doing it every month, you're good because you're just making sure that each battery can take a full cycle, gets a full charge, and is getting regular use. You're not running this battery all the way into the ground, and then this one hasn't gotten a use and all of a sudden it's lost a little bit of its ability to take a full charge. These have been a few simple tips and tricks on maintenance you can perform at your house on a regular basis. But occasionally your oxygen concentrator is going to need service. And when that happens, we want you to give our customer service team a call at the number below, and we'll be happy to help you diagnose. Your Respironics SimplyGo Mini is a pretty intelligent little machine, and on the screen it'll give you an error code if it needs service. Please make sure that you notate that error code before you call into our service team. That'll help us diagnose the issue as quickly as possible and find you the best solution as fast as possible. A pulse oximeter is a valuable tool you can purchase to help you diagnose if something's happening with your Respironics SimplyGo Mini. It's really important for anybody on oxygen therapy to have with you and handy. That way, if you feel like you're not saturating enough, you'll be able to actually know, and then you can contact your doctor and even let us know the circumstances of using your Respironics SimplyGo Mini and if your purity dropped. And that way we'll be able to help you diagnose what might be happening with your Respironics SimplyGo Mini. Remember that oxygen concentrators, and especially your Respironics SimplyGo Mini, operate best when they've got a lot of air that's clean and free of smoke, dirt, debris. If you've got to be outside, make sure that it's in its case. Make sure that you wipe it down after you've been outside in a dusty environment, and try and minimize the amount of time it's exposed to smoke. The smoke is really bad on the inner workings of your Respironics SimplyGo Mini. If you believe that your Respironics SimplyGo Mini is not operating at its peak performance, please give our customer service team a call at the number below and we'll be happy to troubleshoot. Thanks again for tuning in. We hope you found all of these maintenance tips helpful. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out and let us know and we'll be happy to help.